Oh, yeah. Something like that. Very close.
What's going on?
How we doing, bro? Do you wanna...
We already
That was a
did that.
terrible clap.
We already did that shit.
Cool.
Fucking clap again,
cool.
goddammit. Clap again.
It's always good to have some extra
Clappings.
clapping in there.
A bunch of clapping. In Ohio was a train derailment. And you were talking about the neglect. Neglect happened from northern southern, where apparently they like fired a whole bunch of workers. The workers needed to be paid more. The railroads needed to be fixed. They didn't fix the railroads because they didn't have any money, such and blah, blah, blah. But happens to be that Norfolk Southern works for the government, and they also traverse very hazardous chemicals to make PVC piping, as in like vinyl chloride or some shit. And because they also neglected fixing their railroads, there was a humongous train derailment, leaking hazardous chemicals of all sorts, not just vinyl chloride. It's chemicals that makes plastic.
Yeah.
Burning plastic alone is one thing. The chemicals that make plastic is another. And that is all spilling out in liquid form into the soil, into the water. And then they said, oh, hey, no scientist, no possible college studied person on the matter told them to do what they did. What did they do? They set it on fire in a controlled burn. So we're gonna set it on fire in a controlled burn so that the whole thing doesn't explode and a whole bunch of shrapnel go everywhere. So we're just gonna burn it off in a controlled manner. When anybody smart would say, hey, how about have people in hazmat suits go in and clean it up? Don't burn it, clean it up, soak it up. Maybe like how you would clean a spill of wine. How do you clean wine? You maybe use the salsa water and you dap it. You dap it. You don't just scrub. You scrub, you make the problem worse, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like a big material or cloth or something, and like put that shit over the top and let it soak up and dispose of it and fucking...
Right? That is a logical way about doing this manner. But no, let's burn it and put it into the atmosphere and legitimately nuke a town with chemicals. It is a nuclear bomb in another way.
Pretty much. Whoever was near that site, they all would have got fucked over hardcore by that. Because, yeah, that literally would have just been like... it's like where you can't even do like treated pine and stuff in a fire because of the fumes and stuff that come off of that.
Go ahead, put a plastic bottle on fire, bro. You go ahead and breathe that. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. That's like, but this is like plastic bottle concentrate. You're lighting on fire.
Okay. But it's going into the atmosphere and made a completely... Dude, you can see it from space. From space, it looks like a black butthole.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a butthole. A fucking butthole from space. And now this same black toxic cloud is a plastic cloud, pretty much. That's going to rain hydrochloric acid and more. And more. And the thing is leaking it, so...
I just kind of imagine, like Lego droplets just falling out of this cloud.
Yeah, for real, right? What is acid, like acid rain?
Yeah.
And what it's doing is leaving a fucking film on cars. It's like, it's eating away paint on cars and shit. This is the crazy thing. Like, I haven't even said the crazy shit other than the spill. It's leaking into the lakes. It's leaking into the wildlife. 200-mile radius, foxes are coughing and dying.
Yeah.
Chickens are dying. People are waking up to their animals dead. Okay, government is saying, hey, this is gonna get me out of. I didn't even want to. This is not even the subject I want to talk about. We're talking about weak men today.
I can guarantee you that there's a lot of weak people involved in the decision making of how this is all going down. So, continue. It's on thing. You got this.
What the government is telling the people is this. All we can do is do air testing and water testing. Test the air, test the water. We've tested the air and the samples came back okay. We tested the water and the samples came back that the water is drinkable, the air is breathable. Go home. If you have any problems and concerns, test the water. Test the air. They're testing the water. They're testing the air. Throw a rock into the lake. It looks like a lake because the chemicals have settled. You throw a rock into the lake bubbles with chemicals, and a rainbow film comes up because what it was a rainbow film at first, and it all settled. But now the fucking bubbles is like it's boiling. Mm-hmm. You throw a rock into the lake, wait 3 seconds, you see white boiling type bubbles, and then rainbow film on top comes up, and they say, okay, the water is completely drinkable. Fish are turned over by the hundreds of thousands now. So I don't know, but they're saying that the water is drinkable.
They probably got like a bottle of Niagara from the shops there, and then poured that in, and it's like, yeah, that's clean water.
But the same people who are telling you to take the jab are the same people who are saying the water is safe to drink. But the same people won't drink the water in front of your face, and they won't give that same water to their children to drink.
Oh, fuck no. Who was it? He was the one person that did the shot on live TV.
Biden?
Some politician.
Joe Biden?
Was it Joe Biden?
I think it was Biden.
And when he took the shot, he went down like a sack of shit, bro.
Oh, I know. I wasn't Joe Biden.
I think that was I think it might have been the Johnson one, but he got the vaccination on stage, and within 20 minutes he passed out on stage and had to get taken out of there. He's the only person to be seen live getting the vaccination.
The thing is, right, I just saw something on Instagram. I try to put it up if I can, but it was like this one dude who I did a try not to laugh on. I love this Asian guy. And he was like, oh, I had the vaccine, I had the Omicron, I had the Omegatron, I had the Vibetamon, I had the Digimon, I had the Pokemon, I had the Rigitarmon, and he started foaming from the mouth. And he was like, this is the reason why people are dying, because they're taking 20 vaccines for the same different thing. But it's like, yo, this is what's going. This it's a mind. Yo, I'll touch on another thing that I kind of wanted to say now that we kind of branched out. Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. The mind flare. I just thought about this past week, right? And because I was like, I be watching a lot of Bible stuff. I watch a lot of Christian stuff, Bible stuff, right? In the Bible, they talk about a mind sickness that comes over people at the end times. I think that is what Stranger Things is pointing out with this mind flare. I'm sure that there's many other movies and shows that talk about this this thing, but think about the zombie movie where the biblical term for it will be legion, because demons come in legion, like a pact. Mm-hmm. But there's a bunch of zombie movies where you understand that the zombies are a community. They're all in mind. They're all together.
Like a hive mind.
They're a hive mind, exactly. The mind flare is like a hive mind of sickness. Mm-hmm. It's a sick mind. Just like before we were talking about with disease, it's dis-ease. Now, this is a touchy top. This is going to be real touchy because I have to be very careful. Because there's ways that this could... There's ways that it could bring people, make people mad. What I'm about to say. When you're talking about, say, this woke culture shit, as a hive mind, and as maybe if it's a mind flare type of deal where it's a sickness in a mind state. In Western culture right now, people are so fucking loose, or so fucking, they're so all accepting. Right? We touched on this before. And God bless you all. God bless everyone who's watching. I love you all. Love you all. But everybody's so accepting to everything. But that is not a good thing. You have to stand for something, or you stand for nothing.
Yeah.
So with this feeling I have, where it's like when anybody's so all accepting, they'll accept bad shit. And if you accept a virus, aren't you not sickened?
Very true, yeah.
So like, if that's why it's very touchy with this woke mind state where they're like, oh, well, they're just you have to be accepting of them because they're going through their problems, and you have to be kind to their weird ass fucking way of thinking. You have to be accepting. Oh, you're just a bigot. It's like, we had at a point of time, people stood for something and they had their boundaries and they did not cross it. But if you're so loose and fluid and all accepting to everything, if you accept something, you won't know that you're being poisoned until you're on your deathbed. Mm-hmm. Or you won't know until it hits you in the fucking face, is what I'm trying to say, you know? So...
Did you ever watch Better Call Saul?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah. They do a good one with that, because the brother in Better Call Saul, he has like a psychiatric impairment, but he can't do like electromagnetic frequencies, so he ends up becoming like xenophobic, I think is the term, where you can't go outside and stuff.
Okay.
Because he's like scared of the power lines and the emissions and getting cancer and all of that.
Maybe xenophobic might not be the right word. I have, because I only heard that in a very negative or derogatory term.
Well, I think xenophobic is the fear of going outside.
Okay, I'll definitely look it up.
Not the fear of electromagnetic waves, but yeah, this guy has the problem. But he goes into it because it's like, you know, the brother is like, you know, he doesn't believe it himself.
Yeah.
But he has to be accepting of his brother who believes this kind of thing. And so it's like that struggle he has to try and support his brother and not just be like, you're a whack job.
Yeah.
Even though at the same time in his own head, he's like, oh man, my brother's a whack job. How can I help him?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And so that's a real interesting take on that.
Yeah. It's like, I had a thought about this shit because it's like, yo, I'm only talking about it because of one thing. Right now, there are people who are sadly giving... Oh my God. They're sadly supporting people who I feel should not be supported in any way or manner. Fucking pedophiles. There are people who are like being empathetic or sympathetic.
Yeah, see, I don't get that. That's not something that I have no empathy or sympathy towards those people. I have sympathy towards the victims and stuff like that, and I will say here, and I don't care what anyone thinks, but the true solution to pedophilia when somebody's found out to be a pedophile is a quick bullet between the eyes.
I believe that
you don't recover from that. You can't
my guy.
desensitize that, and those people should be shot.
I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen, Dylan, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm gonna have to do this episode right here, right now, because I don't know if I have to edit this out to make you just to blank that out. I want to keep that 1000% in there, but I don't know anymore because the tides in Western civilization is, in my own opinion, is going so
No, you could leave it in, because the only righteous argument you could have against that would be who are you to decide who lives and who dies? That's the only thing I could think that anyone would have a righteous argument against.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna leave it in. I'm not gonna do anything to it,
but
until we have to do something to it.
At the same token, it's
crazy.
This is the kind of shit that
Oh shit! Wait.
Oh yeah.
When did you just see it do that?
I didn't just see it. I just picked up when you said, "Oh shit."
Okay. Well,
so going back to it, there you go. There was the fart. I heard it. He just let one rip.
You motherfucker. All right, so sadly, the tides is changing where there are a lot of people who are very sympathetic towards pedophiles, and I don't know how
it's wrong.
It's very wrong.
That's 100%. I have no hesitation and no doubt in my mind to say that society is wrong on that. And anyone that sits there and sympathizes and is empathetic to those people, I don't know, live in a blissful world where clearly they cannot consider anything ever happening to them or their families, and I hope they never have to deal with the repercussions of what comes with pedophilia and shit, because as I said, that shit fucks people's lives up, man. It's
yeah, you know what,
anyone that's a victim of that shit, it doesn't matter what they go through in life now, they now have that with them. A lot of people commit suicide after being violated. A lot of people will reclude from the world, and the life that they once had a possibility of living is now warped and disfigured from what it could have been because of that shatters a soul, man. When you're a kid and you're innocent and you have no perceptions of these sorts of things, and somebody comes in and violates those energies and everything inside of you, that completely warps the way that you address the world from that point on. And maybe some people get past it, and they will be able to live a normal life still or something like that, but I honestly don't think so. I think that anyone that's had that happen, that stays with them for their life, And so that person is now impaired another life. And to me, that's equivalent exchange, a life for a life. If you're going to fuck someone's life up, then the repercussion should be that your life should be fucked up. So if not killed, and I think killing just makes the most sense because the way that the law works and stuff, is a lot of them, they go into desensitization programs, and if they do really good at it, they let them back out on the streets, but then these people just reoffend and fuck another life up. And there's people that, have been in and out of prisons 3 or 4 times, and it's at what point is it do you realize that the legal system doesn't work for that shit? Either lock them up for life or just take that life.
Yo, honestly, I'm going through a whirlwind right now when you're speaking right now. I heard every word. I'm going through a fucking whirlwind because for what I know, I'm what just popped into my head after everything you just said, right? I just come to terms that you're talking about taking a life off of this earth, right? And the fact that I agree with you, right, is almost unsettling because I find a contradiction with the law that I live by, but thou shalt not kill, right? The one of the 10 Commandments. And now also on top of that is that I also know by the law that I live by, fucking with a child is an irredeemable sin. Okay? Period. You don't fuck with them mentally. You don't fuck with them physically. You don't fuck with the innocence. Don't taint the innocence, because that's exactly what Lucifer did to Adam and Eve. That was his irredeemable sin. So you don't fuck with children, right? And then a pedophile is fucking literally a child and fucking with them. There is like human in my yes, and I can't even take it. In my human mind is rage, absolute rage, no remorse, just end all. The thing is also on top of that is like, why the fuck would I give this guy the justice and due diligence to just die and go to hell? I want him to see hell on earth. But the fact that hell is on earth, the fact that hell is on earth is his benefit. Because the way that earth actually is, it's heaven and hell. It's pretty damn it's purgatory. And that's why people have such animosity towards God, because they feel like, oh, well, how come cancer exists? How come pedophiles are around and fucking children? How come this or that? It's because earth is fucking purgatory, damn near. Earth is realm of Satan. Satan is the prince of this fucking earth. I've come to learn that shit. And when I hear it, and it don't sit right with any Christian who's hearing this probably right now. But it makes so much sense, because he fell to earth. And so did the angels who fell with him. They made their ways on earth as the deities, and those people who saw them thought those deities were God, and they praised them in all their different sections of this world. That's why, like, America praises one God and India praises another one. Fucking, there's different deities all around the earth. So the pure fact that these people, their souls can be tainted with evils and evil acts and get away with it, is all because earth is not heaven. Earth is earth. Earth is pretty much purgatory. The only way we see the good on earth is if we bring it here. But what is here is primal. Just like the caveman is a beast, eat beast world. Is only kind because people bring heaven to earth. We're in a first world country where we have the luxury of bringing kindness and joy to other people. Go take this to a third world country. We couldn't have a fucking podcast right now without somebody trying to fucking kill me. Or you. Oh, what's this nice camera going on? What are you doing here?
Yeah. Even some first world countries, man.
Even some first world countries, depends on where you are. We in the hood now, aren't we? But we're blessed by God. We're in the hood. We're blessed by God.
This is a nice little pocket.
It's a nice little pocket. God bless this neighborhood, and I pray to give back to it, so it can stay nice and cool. Like we all family. We all trying to do good for one another. We don't need no heat. We don't need no fucking heat. You hear me? We don't need no goddamn heat. We trying to do good. But the thing is, that's like, it's so sad that that's what we have to fight in the pure fact. I ain't even wanna.
I don't know if it still stands, but I know, like in Massachusetts, there was up until like past like the year 2000. Like as I said, it might have changed in recent years, but up until past year 2000, um, or like year 2000. That's right. There was a price that you could put on a head. So you could literally murder someone, be seen murdering someone, and then go to the court, and it was like $50,000. If you could afford to just pay off $50,000, you could pay off that crime and get away with like murder, bro.
Can you not? Can you not talk about that?
How wild is that, man?
Because that's why I'm going for my gun license, bro. Can you not? Because it's like, I do fucking care about my life. And I swear to God, like...
But it's like things like that just go to show too that like laws are created to oppress the poor. You know, if there is monetary values that allow you to work outside of the law, then that's a corrupt and unjust system. And that's, I think, how, like, a lot of, like, pedophilia and stuff like that exists as well. Or, like, human trafficking and stuff. Because you're talking about, like, people that are powerful in the sense of money and stuff, you know, that are able to like pay people off and like have things in place to try and protect themselves and get like minimum sentences for fucking, you know, owning fucking like handfuls of people and shit, you know, like could you imagine fucking buying like 15 people, getting found out and then getting away with a 4-year sentence and a slap on the wrist?
See, so I'm so glad.
And then some dude is fucking caught with fucking a 50 bag of pot. And like,
and he goes to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you said what you just said, as you always do, because you brought it back home for me in a way that I can bring it to the main subject of what I wanted to talk about. Weak men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, weak men. Here we go. So it's just like this, these powerful people like you were just talking about who could buy 15 people, right? Use them for whatever they want to do. I would classify that person as a weak person. Most likely a man. I will classify them as a weak man because they have to buy and purchase what they want rather than going out and getting it. I'm not even outside of you talking human trafficking. I'm talking about actually just getting a girl, period. Weak men are also evil men who use their power and bring harm and destruction like a demon. In a demon fucking form. They're just human. I would classify those same humans having that little demon in their ear that constantly speaks and they're constantly talking back to it. Because angels ain't gonna constantly speak into your ear like that. No, they don't do that. They just help out little by little. You feel this called the Holy Spirit. You feel the Holy Spirit comes from your heart. It gives you a good sense of discernment. Oh, don't go down that alley. Something's bad there. It's like that. It's very light. It's very little. It's like
signals and signs rather than like dialogue.
Rather than just, hey, you should go do this.
Yeah.
That's a demon. And then when the people are listening to that fucking demon, it's something that you can't hear. But you see it in them. You see it in that. What's wrong with that motherfucker? Why the fuck is he speaking to no one? Come on.
That's in the eyes, I find, with a lot of people. You can tell a lot by just like looking into someone's eyes where they're at.
Maybe, maybe not. I know there's a lot of uncomfortable people who don't know how to make eye contact and shit like that.
Yeah, well, it's like if you watch like all the documentaries on like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, and like serial killers and shit like that.
Yeah.
Have a look at their eyes, you know, and there's like a
jittery.
Like, well, no, it's more like a clear clarity to their eyes, but it's like vacant focus. You know, so they're like very in tune and focused, but it's like vacant, like, you know, so it's distant to what's happening in the world around them. They like live in their own world, sort of shit.
Honestly, I don't watch those demons because it's like they actually scare the fuck out of me. I'm honestly the one to make fun of females, like, not harshly. These are the girls that I love. I love women, but like, these women are so dumb. Like, I use that nicely. These women are so fucking stupid. Like, they were like, oh, I don't like horror movies. They're scary. But I'll watch a Jeffrey Dahmer fucking documentary all day. Oh my god, it was so great. It was so great.
And then like fantasize about getting like caught by kidnappers.
Fucking sickos. They're fucking sick. You fucking dumb sick women. I love you. You're fucking sick. But I shit you not. Like, I work with a lot of beautiful women. I'm like, yo, fuck wrong with you, girl? She was like, I'm like, yo, did you see this new, because I was probably talking about like Hereditary. You ever see Hereditary?
No.
Oh, damn, you should watch this good horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a good ass horror movie, and again, I watch horror movies for a different subject, just like I watch the Super Bowl. I watch the Super Bowl to point out the satanic fucking rituals that they're doing in the Super Bowl for halftime show, right? I watch horror movies to point out the satanic shit that they're fucking doing because that's how they speak. So I watch these
horror movies that make sense though, because horror movies are the depiction of like Satanism on Earth.
Yes, horror. I heard this recently because then it makes so much sense. Horror movies, how these horror movies are made is these directors go to the decrepit parts of their fucking mental states, and the thing was, when you go to that decrepit part of your mental state, you're literally like going through hell. Hell, I swear, hell is the nightmare realm. Where is nightmares?
The mind.
Yeah. How do you have nightmares when you're sleeping, right? It's in your mind. Mind flare. But hell is like a hellscape. Is a hellscape, is a dimension. I swear it might be legitimately connected to every dark thing that a human can think of. That's why, yo, bro, all right. I have the video here on YouTube, and maybe I need to make it more clear and shorter, but play this Ouija board. My friend's soul got dragged to hell. We had to let our guardian angels go with Jesus to hell to get our guardian angel, my friend's guardian angel, back. They came back. They met us back at the board and everything. It took a long time. It was a 2 weeks period of time. We were sitting there. We were open. It felt like we were fucking naked, bro. But without our guardian angels. They came back. We met us. They they told us their story. They were like, yo, you would not wish hell on your worst of worst enemies. And it settled with me because I'm like, I don't really have any enemies, but I can imagine me having someone who I really hate. And they're telling me that you would not want to wish them there. You wish, and that resonated with, you have to love, period. Because if you wouldn't want to wish your worst of worst enemies into hell, that means that you have a resonance of love for them. And if you could wish somebody into hell, then, bro, your soul is fucked and you got to do something about it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the same with anyone that does injustice by you and stuff. The strongest thing you can do is pray for them.
Absolutely.
You never wish revenge or something on someone. That's a malicious, weak soul at that. It takes a lot more power to, hope that they, find ease to whatever ails them and pray for that soul.
Yep. And now, this also ties back to what I was saying earlier and why it had...
pedophiles. I can't pray for pedophiles, bro.
That's where I was going.
And I would have that conflict or whatever, contradiction to the day I die.
Yep, that's exactly...
That's some messed up shit.
Yep, Yep, that's exactly what I was getting back to. Was
same with animals, to be honest, bro. Too.
If you fucking harm an animal,
yeah, like,
they're innocent.
Like people that like kill animals and stuff like that. That to me is the same as a murderer, the same as a pedophile. Like somebody that like has it in them to take.
If you're just hunting you're hunting for fun, not for gain. Like you're hunting for gain, not for food.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's one border. Like, I don't agree with like trophy hunting and stuff
I don't
like
agree.
that.
That's
but
murder.
I wouldn't like hunt down a trophy hunter and like necessarily think that they should die.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, right.
That's a really hard one because there are some people that it's like I think the world would be better off without them. Still, yeah.
So like it ties back to everything, bro, because it ties back to what I was talking about. Weak men. It ties back to those pedophiles who are weak men. They're taking the innocence away from each other, and like also the commandment of thou shalt not kill, even though I'm saying you shouldn't even wish death upon somebody, even though it's such an unsettling feeling in your soul to even think or even fathom about forgiving a pedophile, but even forgiving those type of people, those evil people, right? But here's the thing, right? I told you before the podcast that yesterday I watched Passion of the Christ, and I fucking cried my gosh damn eyes out. And the thing is that this man, Yeshua, Jesus, he was able to forgive even that pedophile. Things that we humanly can't even fathom. He is able to find the goodness in even the darkest of darkness. He can understand, and now it's not just now. Maybe even like I come to like Yeshua and Yahweh, because Yahweh is the Father, Yeshua is the Son. Yeshua is, I think. All right. So what the story goes, right, where there's some confusion, they're like, there's Trinity, the Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. They're all the same. They're all God. One is the Father, one is the recreation of the Father, the Son in human form. The Holy Spirit is like the essence that can hit anyone. It can hit us. It can like go through us and we feel his presence, right?
Yep.
Now Jesus, Yeshua, the Son, he is the one who was in our human form. And now watching Passion of the Christ, you've seen the demons that humans can be. Even past pedophiles. Pedophiles say if you want to say classify number one type demon is very, very bad, you'll classify pedophile as number 2 or number 3. Okay? Even though they're all very bad, the same ones, the same demons who you will see in human beings can be even worse than a pedophile. And the fact that those same humans, not demons, they're humans, okay? They're the energy off of them were demonic. Mm-hmm. Passion of the Christ, you see this man. Oh my God! All right, I found a great analogy. Okay, a great analogy, and I thought it was wild at first. Okay. But it settled with me. There's 2 twin brothers, right? One brother is a fucking menace. Mm-hmm. And the other brother is just clean as a whistle. Twins. This menace brother came back with blood on his shirt and he murdered some people, right? He went home to his twin brother, right? And he went to sleep. Or like he saw his brother, and his brother took off his clothes, put him in the bath, and he went to sleep, right? And his twin brother, the clean one, put on his bloody shirt. The police came. The police came to the house, right? And took the twin brother. And the twin brother went to jail for the crimes that the other twin brother did. That is what Jesus, Yeshua, did for everyone on earth. for our sins in ways. He was the one that's clean as a whistle, but he took on all of our sins, right? And he got crucified for it. So just as we should have been crucified for it, instead, he took that crucifixion for us, right? And that was the saving of our sins. So because of that duty, right? That duty that he did, he gave us a chance to get to heaven, right? He gave us a chance to like learn that story and go about our ways to, again, the Bible, basic information before leaving Earth.
Can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah.
And just say that you said Jesus did a duty?
Yeah, it was a gold one too. Golden duties. Oh my gosh. I bet you it wouldn't stink either.
Man, like roses.
Roses smell like shit.
Well, it depends on the fertilizer you use, but yeah, I could agree with that.
Hey, roses smell like boo, bro. It's a fucking song. But yeah, so like that job, his job was to take that on, and the crucified for us, we're able to be even able to go in there, to learn the story, to understand what to do, right? The basic information before leaving Earth, figure out the story of why he died for you, what it was about, right? And then just spread that. Spread the news. Spread the news to people like, hey, you're okay. All you need to know is this. If you know this, you're straight. And honestly, it's almost that simple. It's ways to live by. 10 simple fucking rules. And these 10 has, like, again, like, you know, the job that he did was to do like 600 plus different obligations that no human could freaking do, right? You can't put an ear back on and shit like that. So like, he did all of these 600 different things, and he claimed to be the Messiah. Well, he didn't claim, he is the Messiah, yeah. But for them, they said he claimed. Since he claimed to be the Messiah, they called it blasphemy. And they literally, legit, when you watch The Passion of the Christ, right? It infuriated me because it was like, they made it known that he could be a kook, right? Yeah. They were like, oh, well, what's the difference? Like, what is another kook saying that he's the Messiah, right? But
he had proven miracles.
But he's proven miracles, right? But he's good. He looks like he's good.
He is good. He's tired, man. You can see it in his eyes.
Yeah, man. He's getting fluffy too. Yeah. He's really, so like he's proven these miracles, but it seems like, but when you see like the vitriolic, demonic ass like forces that's coming from the humans, from the people, they just want him to die, right? Doesn't matter how much good he did. It's like killing the man who just gave you flowers for no reason. You know, I'm the flower. He says I'm the flower man, and you're like, you're not the flower man. Die. Right? And I'm like, I just gave you flowers, right? Or he gave everybody flowers, but he didn't give you flowers. Everybody's saying like, he gave me flowers, but no, he doesn't give flowers. Die. It's some very, very like, this is a very like bad analogy, but you understand what I'm saying. But but he took that shit. He just died. He just died for you. Like, just like, he's like, all right, well, you fucking hate me. All I did was goodness to you. He told the Roman prince, he was like, yo, like, you have no power over me than what was given to you from above. Okay? So it's not you that is killing me. Who's killing me is the people who's giving me away to you.
Yeah.
You hear that? Are you hear that?
Say it again.
So it was like, say you're trying to say you are the king, right? Mm-hmm. And the king, like, and you asked me, he like, hey, am I to kill you right now, or should I set you free? Right? You say to me, am I to kill you right now, or should I set you free? And I'm not Jesus. So Jesus responds to the king. He's like, yo, look, you have no power over me other than from who above gave you power, right? You are not killing me. The one who is killing me is giving me up to you. So it's up to you to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So it's not you that's killing me. It's whoever is giving me off to you is killing me. Because the king just asked you, am I to kill you or to set you free? Because the king legitimately was like, yo, I mean, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because you'll be anti-Semitic. You know what that word means? Mm-hmm. What does anti-Semitic means?
It means that it's like against the Jewish.
Yeah, at first I thought anti-Semitic meant racist, period. But anti-Semitic means is against the Jews. Mm-hmm. Jewish. Sorry, can't say that. Can't say that, I'm sorry. So the people who gave him away is the one who killed them. Yeah. So he told that to the king, and the king was like, yo, damn. Fuck. And these guys are going ham on him. So Jesus goes through the lashings, and he comes back 50% less skin. Like, he has 50% skin on his body, right? And the dude is covered in blood, and they tortured him like this. The soldiers on top of the king didn't want any of that. The soldiers just fucking went ham.
Yeah.
And he came back and he goes out to the people. He was like, look at him now. What do you want? Crucify him. He was like, yo, I'm not crucifying this guy. The said people, you know who? Mm-hmm. The said people were like, nah, crucify Holmes. He was like, the king said, I only crucify Holmes. I'll give you back one of your murderous of murderous people if you want to crucify him. They were like, give us Barnabas. One murderer, is probably a pedophile. Pedophile, murderer of children, the worst of the worst. Take on Barnabas. We want Barnabas. We want Barnabas. Crucify Jesus. We want the murderer back. Crucify Jesus. He's a magician. He's saying that he's the Messiah. He's done nothing but good for the people. We hate him. He's a blasphemer. Crucify him. We want the most murderous of murderous back. They released the murderer. They were like, yeah! The murderer goes in the crowd and they're like, ugh. Get the fuck away from me, gross. Yeah, kill him though. So you've seen the demons in people. Mm-hmm. And they sacrificed Jesus. And everything that he said came to pass. And then those same said people, I think they died in their temple or something, but they were high level. They're not just like people, you know. I'm talking about like rabbis and stuff like that, like high
nobles.
Yeah, those
times.
Them. They were the guiding of the people. So we're again back to tying to the story that Jesus was able to even turn the cheek and forgive the worst of the worst. So in the studies that I know is that you just have to be to your best that you can, and the only idol, like I might have these posters up, but you see like I'm not like giving adulation to like the
Loki.
Like no, not Loki, but like the actor. I don't even fucking know his name, right? It's just a show that I like, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't have posters of fucking LeBron James or Michael Jordan, like, oh, he's the GOAT, because that's false idols.
Yeah.
The only idol I have is Jesus. So, like, the only person who I try...
Goku.
Yeah, I mean, Goku is...
Goku's a very inspiring character to most men.
Goku's a little different, okay? Goku inspires me to be buff and eat a lot of fucking food.
Hell yeah.
Try to get to Super Saiyan 4.
One thing I can tell you, though, from, like, a movie that makes me cry, that I think is in the same vein of Passion of the Christ, is The Green Mile.
The Green Mile, isn't that
it's a Stephen
the cannibal
King
movie?
book.
The cannibal movie, right?
No. It's not to do with the cannibal at all. So the concept of the Green Mile is John Coffey is this like 7-foot black guy, huge beast of a man. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's like a gentle giant, you know what I mean? But he looks like menacing and stuff. And what happens is he has the ability to cure people. He's like a gift from Christ on earth.
Is that it? The Stephen King?
It's a Stephen King book.
Ah, yeah, you did. Okay, yeah, okay. I gotta watch that one.
Yeah, like, you know, there's like one part that I'll tell you when.
Doesn't it connect to?
It's like one of the guards has like a UTI. And he's literally able to like grab the dude's balls and then suck the UTI out of him. Ooh. And then he like sends it off as like weird moths into the area. But he can like heal people and do these good things.
Yeah.
But he gets found with 2 girls that are murdered. And they assume because of his stature and who he is and everything that he must have been the one to murder these people. And then it's like the folly of because the Green Mile is the last strip before they get executed sort of stuff. And so it's this guy kind of finding out like, holy shit, I have like an actual like gift of God sitting here on the Green Mile with me, sentenced to death, and I'm going to be the person that has to kill this gift of God.
I'm sure is that movie directly connected to, like, not Schindler's List or something, but it's a movie with Morgan Freeman.
You think in Shawshank Redemption?
Yes.
It's not directly connected with Shawshank, no.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay. Is this
Shawshank Redemption's another great movie, though.
Isn't that by the same director, right? Yeah.
Probably the same director, too.
Stephen King?
Well, the story, yeah.
It's connected.
But it's not, like, I don't think the stories themselves have anything to do with...
No. The stories don't have anything to do with it. It's like the universe. Because, like, I think it's with the prison or something that the guy goes to. Might be, like, the same prison that's in...
I don't think so. No.
I could be completely wrong. Gotta watch Green Mile. Yeah. But I know that...
Definitely watch the Green Mile.
I will watch...
Or if you want to do one better... read the book first, because it's also a great read, and then watch the movie.
See, I swear...
And the movie won't ruin the books if you read the books.
I guarantee you, I will not read the book.
Yeah.
I will come back 3-5 years from now by the time... yeah.
But that's a movie that every time I watch that movie, it leaves me teared up and stuff. It's that movie, but it's like I don't know. It's just a sad movie, yeah.
Yeah, I just like I don't cry. I usually don't cry. I try to like build that shit up as much as fucking possible. But like, bro, I had rage tears. It was rage tears. They were just fucking going. And my mom wanted to fucking call me, and I'm like, great. Answer the phone. I'm like, hey. And she was like, hi, how are you? Can you take the dogs out? And I was like, I'm just trying not to be like, like, all right. She's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm fine. I'm just watching Passion of the Christ. Click. She got it. She instantly got it. So like, let me get 5 minutes, pause. But the rage tears, again, it was like your hero, Superman. You're watching Superman. Again, I just, like, you're watching Superman and he's dying for you. Like, and it's like, it's so sombering, and it's like how, you, again, like the twin, like the guy, like the clean as a whistle twin going to jail forever for a murder that he didn't do. We, like, everybody on Earth is that murderous twin. Pretty much. Like, we are that murderous twin, and only there's one guy who took on all, like, if everybody on Earth were gonna go to jail forever, pretty much, right? This guy was like, all right, I'm gonna go to jail forever for everybody else. That's how it is. That's the analogy for when he's taking on our sins. And then, like, you just seeing Holmes get brutalized by humans. Just like the same humans that his best, alright, so where it was, I'm sorry. I didn't want this to be about it, but it's about weak men, it's about weak people.
So this is Judas now.
Yeah, Judas fucking hung himself after. Judas gave him away. Judas gave away Jesus's position where he was, and for some fucking schmeckles, right? For a couple of schmeckles, and then right. And the thing was that the soldiers took Judas with them when they went to go and get Jesus, right? So he had to see Jesus's face, and when he did, he fucking crumbled, right? Yeah. So like they beat the shit out of Jesus. And like they take him back in chains, and Judas goes back to those same rabbis, and he was like, "Take back." He spit on him, like, "Take back your schmeckles. I don't want them." And he's like, "Yo, just take your schmeckles and go. What's done is done. Go home, right?" Yeah. And Judas like, "Nah. Take your fucking schmeckles," and he runs off. But like, I guess what he got. He runs off and he chills, and then he gets like attacked by some demon children, right? Like he's just like going back and forth with some kids, and the kids just turn into fucking demons, and like they chase him off into like a little like off into the land a little bit next to like some dead calf or dead horse or something, and he hung himself and killed himself because he couldn't bear that he just fucking gave up Jesus. Yeah. And like even the thing, what I even said was like Jesus's best friends. One of his best friends denied him 3 times, right? Best friend who if he had 12 or 13 best friends, like so he had 12 disciples, yeah, and Peter. Because Peter is the one who denied him 3 times. And Peter was the one who said, "I will follow you to the end of the earth and I will die with you." And then when it came to pass where it was like, "Do you know who this nigga is?" "I don't know him." Nah, I never met the guy before. Nah, I don't know him. And the guy told Holmes that, like, at the Last Supper, he was like, "Yo," as soon as Peter said, like, "Yo, I'm gonna die with you," God was like, "Bro, blessings to what you're saying, man, but when the crow croaks, when I die, when I'm about to die, you're gonna deny me 3 times." And like it happened, and then he just knew like, oh fuck. Everything about it was insane. And I just want to end this off quickly because it also like it's the pain that, you know, my Superman went through. After he rose, right? It's like in Mark or somewhere, Matthew somewhere, right? I wanna do a quick off-branch video about this, but the same pain happened after he risen again to him, because he came when he rose back again, right? I think it was Mary, the Virgin Mary, or the girl that God exorcised the demons out of, right? Or Jesus exorcised the demons out of, and maybe her mother or something. They were walking on the road and they saw this tall dude in white just on the side of the road. No harm, nothing. Just a dude in white. And they were so afraid. And the guy was, hey, don't fret. Don't fret. I'm actually here to tell you something. You know that guy Jesus, you know? I'm pretty sure like that's like pretty much Jesus's girlfriend, right? Yeah, you know that guy Jesus, you know your boyfriend? The one who died, right? Yeah, you know, he's actually not dead. Well, he died, but he rose again. And he's waiting for you over there. He wants to see you. So, and he wants to see you. And was it the first, he said, go and get his best friends. Go tell his best friends, and all of you come and go see him at the same time. The girls was like, they were still afraid. And they started gossiping and crying hysterically. They're crying and gossiping most likely, right? And they went home and they didn't fucking do it. Yeah. Right? They went home and they didn't fucking listen, right? And Jesus is just sitting there like, the fuck's going on here, yeah? Right? So then he was like, all right, next day, Jesus comes and he shows himself to his girlfriend. He's like, hey, what up, girl? I'm here. And she's like, oh, how are you here? Right? And he's like, yeah, I'm here. Can you go tell my best friends for me, please? and come meet me over here, right? So then she goes and she tells two of his best friends, and they're like, yeah, I don't believe you. Because she's telling them, she's all hysterical. Oh, Jesus is here, and he's back alive, and oh my God, I don't know. But what the cause is like, at first he wanted her to go get all of them, and all of them see them together at first, right?
Yeah.
The second time, so she went to two of the best friends, and they were like, you're crazy, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? They didn't do anything. And then now, what happened is that, Jesus showed himself to those two best friends and another one. And he was like, hey, boy, what up, my niggas? And they were like, oh shit, what? He was like, yeah, I'm here. Go tell the rest of my niggas and meet me. They told them, they told them, right? And they were like, bruh, what? You're crazy. Like, and then like they told him at dinner, and like they were like, yo, bruh, what? You're crazy. What are you talking about? They didn't really believe him. And they came in with the girl, and she was hysterical and shit. And they were like, all right, what the fuck are you talking about? So like, all right, this is time 4. Jesus came through, was like, he met all of them at dinner. He was like, the fuck? Right? This is all layman's terms. So you could read this in the Bible, but this is how I can actually like, he came through the table, was like, yo, hey, the fuck? Now y'all all see me, right? Bet. All y'all see me. Now, take this. I'm alive, I've risen. Spread the gospel to the world. I'm out. And then he went up to heaven. And now this is where we're at now, where everybody is spreading the gospel of that he's coming back. And it's crazy. It's a really supernatural book, bro. I promise you it's crazy because this shit tells the future. It's telling points of periods, times right now. It's talking about the mind sickness that's happening in people. It speaks on it all. And when it's coming, and then even with the timeline, right? This is something maybe, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll come back to you with something and we'll end it off here. If you have anything else to say. The timeline talks about like the thousands of years times, right? 1,000 years ago was like 1,000 AD, right? But you're only talking about after death. Then you're talking about BC, before Christ, and all that time is also in the Bible too. Mm-hmm. The time of the apocalypse, right, is a time of 1,000 years that the devil will be prince on earth. And the golden ages before that time commence, most is in the Bible is like the golden ages is of earth is where crops and stuff are most plentiful, where the earth's atmosphere is most rich, where everything is perfect. That time slightly ended in 1960s. So what time period are we in now? And it might actually also be the end times.
I believe that. Especially when you look at like the definition of like death, you know, for something to die, you know. Some people look at it as like a cease of existence.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you literally, you know, like when somebody dies.
It's darkness.
That's it. Yeah. Done darkness. Another definition of death though, or for something to die, is when it stops progressing and falls into decay. And at that point, that's considered it to be death. And that's like when you think about like a tree or something like that. A tree will stand and even be green and produce leaves and shit.
Yeah.
And look alive for a very long time.
Yeah.
Even though it is now continually starting to decay until it is nothing kind of stuff. And so under that concept, that's like when they were saying, you know, the whole in 2012 or whatever it was, according to like the main calendars, that was the end of the world. Yeah. And everybody expected it to be like,
but that's it, the Gregorian calendar.
That's the end of it. But it also, you know, like when you look at the way like natural wonders of the world have been decaying and aren't coming back, and certain things have gone extinct and aren't coming back, you know, and like society has like all of a sudden taken this turn where it's like it almost feels like we're like receding back into like primal ways, you know, and like certain things like that are becoming like the progress of the world.
Yeah.
Like the only progress that I can see that's really being made is like things that are out of this world, you know, like
Dude.
trying to terraform other planets and get away from Earth. And it's like, so did the Earth maybe die in 2012?
Dude.
And we're just riding out the decay?
Dude, what you reminded me of is like a star. Like when a star explodes, the light still emits until it like dims out completely. Mm-hmm. Just because a star exploded doesn't mean that there isn't light, but it doesn't mean that the star isn't dead or decaying, like you said.
Yeah, because it could take like hundreds of years,
or especially
that
at light
final
distance.
bite of light, to finally get to us, sort of thing.
Yeah, so like it dims out and it's gone. Wow, that's crazy. I never thought about that, but that also makes a lot of sense. And when you're talking about death, I want a last statement. My cue of death is like, I don't believe that it just ends, because there's a lot of different ways to think about things with that. Especially because I do believe in ghosts. I think of it like this, like water. How many stages of water are there?
Like 4.
Yeah. You have solid, right? You have a liquid, you have a gas, right? And that's 3. Maybe there's another form of water. Is there?
Well, like the process of water.
H2O itself,
like,
yeah. The
like the evaporation.
That's the gas.
To the formulation.
Yeah.
So like it goes through different states.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be like to like evaporate, flow up.
Yeah.
Collect, fall down, collect and evaporate and go up. And so I think that cycle would be like 4 stages, right?
Now the fact that we are 3-dimensional creatures, right? Mm-hmm. That I just feel that there's also a progression. So that means we started from 1 and we went to 3rd, right? So maybe at a point in time we were 1-dimensional creatures, amoeba or some shit, or like a point, and then a 2nd-dimensional creature, we're living on a flat platform. Don't remember that stage of life.
Like a flat earth?
Like a flat earth. But now 3rd-dimensional, like a cube earth, and now we're 3D people, right? We have a body, right? And now, what is the 4th form? Well, we know about ghosts, right? Maybe that is the 4th form. I only say that by water because water, we're made out of how much water? Like 80%. Mm-hmm. So we're made out of water. I mean, where was the water in us go? Does it evaporate? Yeah, it does. Maybe, I'm just saying maybe, because we do know of ghosts. What do ghosts kind of look like? Do they kind of look like fog?
Yeah.
The most known depiction of a ghost looks like a fog or
like
a mist.
Or it could even be like when you look at like orbs of light that have been seen.
Orbs of light have been seen.
You could almost picture that as being like a ball of water floating illuminated in the air.
Well, that's different. I would just say that would be the soul, but that's just my opinion. I like that too. Like
yeah, but I mean,
water,
like,
that's cool.
even in like the soul itself.
Yeah.
The visual depiction when people speak of like orbs and stuff, and like that orb of like light.
Well, I guess with the soul, I think it will be more energy than like the energy. Like energy cannot be erased or something like that. Mm-hmm. Energy has to be reformed and shit. Mm-hmm. So maybe I would say the soul would be the battery, like the battery outside of the heart, because the heart technically is the heart the battery though? No. The heart is like the pump. It's like the main fuel pump, or like the alternator. The heart is the alternator.
Yeah.
The heart is the alternator, the soul is the battery. You can't go without the soul, but I think of the energy, also energy cannot be demolished. So I feel like maybe that orb of light would actually be the energy, like the electricity, if anything, right? It can't be demolished. Cannot be demolished. E equals MC squared and shit.
Yeah.
Water, though, is vapor, and that's where I feel the similarities between ghosts and maybe human form is that maybe the 4th dimension might be ghosts.
I believe that we are just spirits having a human experience. And so the death and like the depiction of death when you look at like people dying and stuff is the loss of our physical being. So death only exists to a vessel, not to a consciousness.
Yep.
And I've definitely heard of people that like their physical being has died and then they've come back to life and they can like, you know, they will be dead, 100% dead on like a table and stuff.
Yeah. And
they will be able to describe what a nurse viewing something else in another room when they were dead on a table and hear. Like exactly what was said and what they were wearing and stuff because their consciousness has like left their body, been able to travel around the physical realm still around them as a spirit and then been brought back to that vessel, allowing them to then communicate
again and wake up
that they've seen shit after their physical self died. So there's a thing on Netflix that I'll try and find the name of it, but it is literally a show about people that have died and come back to life and had out of body experiences, and it talks on all of that.
I watched a movie way back in my day. I think it was like Enter the Void, and it's like some type of indie movie where it's like out of body experience where, well, this guy died, he got shot in the bathroom, and you see the entire movie is him in his, like you don't see him. It's just a camera just floating around because you are his spirit. Okay,
and it's like a first person of his spirit.
It's dope.
Yeah.
I'll try to send you a link. We'll end up on there because next time we're gonna finish talking about these weak men. It's been a wonderful as well.
Hell yeah, man.
As always, my guy. Friggin'
interesting as ever.
Friggin' we didn't do this right, but we'll do this right at the end, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed your time, please do us a favor, give us a like, give it a subscribe, follow it, leave your suggestions, your questions down in the comment section. I'd love to see them. If you are interested in anything that we said and you want to answer, just let us know what's going on in the comment section, guys. Until next time.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about like out-of-body experiences that you guys have had, you know? Or people that you know of, you know? Because that's the information that helps us depict what is after death.
No, seriously. And I will just love to hear from you guys as well. You guys take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. You know, be awesome.
Stay safe out there.
Take care, guys.
Say no to pedophilia.
Oh my God. Say it again?
Say no to pedophilia.
Man, I don't even want to talk about the subject before I break this fucking shit. I'ma break fucking shit, man. Say no to pedophilia and fucking catch those bastards. Tase them. Tase them.
Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.